whispers on the city street, shadows creeping where the lost souls meet. But I hear wings, yeah, cutting through the air, invisible armies, they're everywhere. Gold halos guarding while the world spins wrong, protecting hearts where the weak grow strong. They're posted up, silent like a stone, but I know I'm never alone. He sends his angels, his mighty crew. They got my back, they're seeing me through. Wings of light, yeah. They break the dark, he sends his angel to shield my heart. When the storm roars and the night's so cold, I feel their warmth like stories told. Feathers brushing past my doubt and fear, a holy presence always near. They block the arrows, they light the way, they guard my soul through the hardest day. No cape, no mask, no comic book scene, just heaven soldiers, unseen but keen. Who's that whisper when I'm falling low? Who's that holding me when the pain won't go? Who's that shouting when the fight gets loud? Angels of God breaking through the crowd. Who's that whisper when I'm falling low? Who's that holding me when the pain won't go? Who's that shouting when the fight gets loud? Angels of God breaking through the crowd. Intended love, his Mighty crew. They got my back, they're seeing me through. Wings of light, wings of light. They break the dark, he sends his angels to shield my heart.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Supernatural Sunday Coffee Talk. I'm Nighthawk, and we have Eric patiently waiting backstage there. He's communicating with everybody in the chat for me because I am literally sicker than a dog this morning, guys. So I'm going to try and get through this. And I had originally planned on a couple different things today. I want to bring everybody on that's had supernatural encounters like normal, okay? Because it's an open mic Sunday, okay? But at the same time, I've been dabbling lately, getting back into the sound frequency stuff, and I've been messing with portals. Yes, I said it, portals. Definitely a a mind bender type of subject. So I was going to try and mess a little bit with the frequency generator that I have and some of the stuff that I had set up for portals. Okay, and just see what happens while we're on camera. Secondly, we're doing a giveaway today, guys. Those of you that follow me know that every now and then I do a giveaway, and it just so happens I have one extra postage stamp that I have sitting around, and I have a Bigfoot, what I call the Quantum Bigfoot card. It's like a about the size of like a birthday card that I personally drew. Last one I have, and I've got it stuffed full of stickers. And I'm not just talking Bigfoot stickers. I'm talking ghost stickers for ghost hunters alien and UFOs and all kinds of stuff, Mothman stickers. It's stuff full of them. So I'm going to be giving this away so I can mail it off to somebody this Monday, and they can have a little bit of joy in their life after what's going on nowadays in the world. That being said, I am going to do the quick disclaimer here, and we'll get into the thick of the supernatural today, guys. So bear with me, okay? Like I said, I'm not feeling very good, and it's just me and Jacob here. So I've got to check on him periodically through the podcast. So I'll be asking Eric to kind of take over a little bit. And okay, here we go. Explanations done. All right. As always, I claim fair use of any and all content under the Copyright Act of 1976, which makes allowances for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, and let's not forget the entertainment value under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, otherwise known herein as the fair use. Furthermore, I wish to acknowledge that not all the opinions and theories mentioned during the podcast are not necessarily the opinions or the views of the Nighthawk Eye Strangeness podcast channel and or AKA William Nighthawk, me. We at Nighthawk High Strangeness YouTube channel and Facebook channels merely bring to the open format to discuss the possibilities of topics happening in the past, present, and future. Please join the Nighthawk High Strangeness YouTube channel family by subscribing, and please hit that like button. As we said yesterday, they are not recording. YouTube is not divulging all of the information that we get on our daily podcast, okay? They are saying we only have 2 or 3 comments, and they are saying we only have 3 to 5 likes. So let's prove them wrong, okay? So that being said, join the chat family. Be respectful in the chat, okay? Don't be rude and hateful, and please put all questions in capital letters. Thank you. All right, so that is out of the way. All right. Let's see. I'm going to bring Eric on. I almost removed myself from the stage. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to bring Eric on. Hey, brother.
Howdy ho, everybody. Hey, Brother William. How was everybody's All Hallows Eve?
No. Mine was not hollow at all.
Mine was spent. Oh, hey, heifer. Mine was spent on my fat guy comfy chair with a 2-pound bottle or 2-pound thing of a tub of cheese balls watching Gundam. Needless to say, I have such a bad addiction.
Mine
2
was
pounds of cheese balls didn't last me.
Oh, good God. Good God. I'd be pooping orange for a month.
Oh, no, I'm afraid to look at mine. Hey, Henry.
Anyways, no, I guess with all the cats around here, Eric, I guess I could say my Hallows Eve was perfect.
You're gonna have to have a whole new show called "Ladies and Gentlemen, Boys and Girls, Welcome to the Pootie Tat Royal Rumble."
I got to get out there with my phone and videotape them, guys. Whenever I go outside or anybody in the family goes outside, they immediately come out of the woodwork. And I mean, they're coming from every freaking where. And it is literally like a horde, like the horde from the Lord of the Rings of the orcs. It really is. They're coming out of everywhere.
Yeah.
Tiny ones, big ones, ugly ones, cute ones. They're freaking everywhere, man. It's literally a cat horde. It's like Lord of the Flies with putty cats.
You gotta have to have your own little theme song. Meow 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 rumble, meow 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 rumble. 9. Stop.
It's crazy.
9.
It is crazy.
9.
All right, I want to get over here and say hello to everybody. It's been a heck of a last few days. At least here it has. I know it's been for a lot of people.
Oh God,
Marty, good to see you. Michelle, good to see you. Disheffer, good to see you. Marcy, good to see you. I don't know who all's in the chat. Roxanne, good to see you. Daryl, good to see you in there. At Henry, good to see you. Now, let's see who else we got. I know we got Kyle. Good to see you. I know we got a lot more in there. It's yeah, Jonaside, Soundwave,
All right,
Ray. Let's see who else we got. I don't see Urso in the chat. Urso, if you're in there, speak up, brother.
I haven't seen him
If
yet.
not, I understand. I understand.
He's still recovering from all.
Anyways, yeah. There's something to be said about the strangeness that's been going on. And I don't say that lightly, guys. I really don't. It's been blowing my mind lately just how abnormal things are. Like completely opposite of the way our world used to be. And to me, it almost seems like those that think that they know what's best for humanity, whether it's human or whether it's something more or whether it's malevolent or whether it's benign, it doesn't matter if it's supernatural, if it's demonic, it doesn't matter. Whatever is messing with our lives on a daily, minute to minute basis has screwed it up so badly that we can't even recognize our own world anymore. Okay. And we're constantly labeling things, and I've talked about this before previously, Eric. We're constantly trying to label things, and I was watching somebody's live last night, and I won't mention her name, but they got in on the subjects of the red eyes and how some of us believe that the red eyes are demonic. And not once did I say red eyes were demonic. Okay. I didn't. What I said was the red eyes merely mean that something is supernaturally charged. Something is supernaturally connected. Okay. Now, within that category, I put Mothman. Within that category, I put the aggressive, mean reports of red-eyed Bigfoot. Okay. And within that category, I put interdimensional beings, because that is something that when my people back in the old days, before the white men came here, had to deal with the supernatural and the spirits, it possibly could have been an interdimensional being. But we're not going to relate it to somebody coming from another dimension. We're not going to perceive that as somebody coming from another dimension. We're going to perceive it as something supernatural, as spirit. Okay. So that being said, I just wanted to make that point very clear today, that not once did I ever state 100% that I'm a believer that the glowing, the illuminated red eyes is demonic. Okay. To me, you have angelic and you have divine. Okay. Demonic is the same as angelic, because angels can be good and angels can be bad. Okay. Hence the word demonic and demon. Okay. So just wanted to clear that little bit up there, Eric, because I don't want anybody to assume that I'm going around and labeling everything demonic, because I'm not. Okay. I am merely stating that there is a possibility that there is a connection to the supernatural, and I'm a firm 150% believer in that.
Yep. It's not everything is. You're absolutely right. I mean, and does that happen? Yes, because when you claim to see a do or die, Michelle. If you claim you've seen something demonic, that's going to get you a lot of clickbait. That's a clickbait thing, and I think that is one of the big reasons, not the only, one of the big reasons why people misdiagnose things, or misidentify things. The other one is people just don't know. When you don't have the knowledge, that will lead into misidentification as well. And that's what we try to do, is try to give proper knowledge to people so people get a better understanding of what they're dealing with. You know, you and I have discussed this multiple times. There's a difference between red glowing eyes and red reflection from eyes. You know, predators, night animals had retroreflective eyes. They literally reflect back the light.
There's another reason that I'm a firm believer in the whole red eye thing being connected to the supernatural. Okay. And what I'm referring to is a lot of the teachings that I was, and a lot of the ceremonies that I do, even the Humblatias, the vision quests that I've done, including the sun dances and stuff like that, and the sweats and stuff, the Inipis, you know, everything that I do spiritually as an indigenous person, I always incorporate pipestone dust. Okay, this is a bag of pipestone dust that I have. Okay, now those of you that don't know much about the indigenous cultures, catlinite is pipestone. Okay, and it's only quarried in one part of the world, and that is in a certain area that was deemed by all Native people to be holy ground. Okay, and there was no wars, no fighting or bickering whenever we were on that ground gathering pipestone to make our sacred chanupas, okay, our pipes, okay? And, you know, the only place in the whole region of America and Canada that was ever deemed a no fighting zone by everybody, okay, because it was that sacred, okay? It was that special of a ground, okay? Liken it unto what I said when I was into the black arts, the Native American black arts, and putting protective supernatural beings on burial grounds, on burial mounds, on grit sites, you know, Black Hills, you know, the mounds in Moundsville, you know, all different types of areas, even cemeteries, anything that's supernaturally charged. Okay, we would be, not all of us, but some of us would be the ones that would be kind of hexing that area, but at the same time asking elementals to protect that area. Okay, and that's why I'm a firm believer too in the supernatural being attached to some of these ride sightings. Okay, I've dealt with it. Okay, I've been there, done it. Okay, but anyways, the pipestone dust represents the blood of our people. Okay. It is literally the blood of our people, okay, from our flood story, okay, from our legends, okay. And what we do with the pipestone dust is I take it and I put it on my fingertips, and I'll put it over my eyelids, okay, whenever, before I go into a sweat lodge, or before I go into a deep meditation and prayer ceremony. Before I go into a Humblatia, a vision quest, or, you know, and I'll do the same for other people that I'm putting through those ceremonies. Okay. I will put the pipestone dust on them. Okay. What that does is that helps the person connect visually to the supernatural. Okay, that opens up, kind of like opening up your third eye, okay, and seeing everything. Okay, and you know, yes, as soon as the ceremony's over, sometimes that lingers on, and if you do it enough times, you develop that connection to the supernatural. That makes your connection to the supernatural very strong. Okay. You start to see things more often. You start to experience things more often. And yes, David and Melissa, if you're in the chat, and Daniel, from talking on your podcast last night, this is one of the things that I've got in store for everybody with the ECBRO, if they're willing to do it. Okay, at their next camp out. So that being said, when we deal with supernatural beings, let's not label it demonic. Okay, let's not give it a bad label right away. Okay, let's question everything. Let's take it into a depth that normal people wouldn't question. Okay, and that's kind of why we're here today, guys. Okay, I want to hear from everyone in the chat today. You're going to get your 15 minutes of fame. I want to hear about every supernatural encounter, whether you believe it was angelic, whether you believe it was demonic, whether you believe it was even alien related, okay, or interdimensional related. Anything along that lines that can be interpreted as supernatural, okay, or paranormal, okay, anything along that lines, guys, okay. So that being said, I'm going to let Eric go ahead and make a list and get some names together, and we'll bring you guys on. And you don't have to turn your camera on, okay? You don't have to turn your camera on at all, okay? Just your microphone, so you don't have to show your face. Nobody's going to ridicule you. If they do, they're out of here, okay? So that being said, this is a format to help everybody kind of deal with what they're dealing with, okay? And that's the whole purpose of today, okay, and every Sunday. So that being said, Eric, do we have anybody willing to come on yet, or is there something you want to discuss about the supernatural?
No. Sorry. Yeah, we haven't got anybody yet. I was just putting in the comments, and let me know in chat if you'd like to come on. That way I can make a list. I mean, I've had plenty of dealings with the supernatural, and that's why. So one thing I've discussed multiple times is another thing that people like to misidentify is there is a difference between supernatural and paranormal. Everybody wants to put a lot of the supernatural stuff into the paranormal, and that's wrong. Paranormal is dealing with the dead. Supernatural is dealing with the living. That's probably one of the most basic ways of putting the difference between paranormal and supernatural is the difference between living and dead entities. Okay, the dead's going to be paranormal. That's your ghost. That's your oh my God, I just forgot the term. It's like a movie playing over and over and over. Memory. Residual haunt. That's your some of your orbs. Yeah. Hey, Bounty. That's your manifestations on whichever level of manifestation. That's going to be your paranormal because it's the dead still roaming this earth. Where supernatural, like your fae, your elementals, your demons, your angels, they're living. They may act like the dead sometimes, but they're living. And to me, I mean, this is just my opinion, how I classify these things, why I think the way I do. Supernatural is dealing with the living things. You guys see the fae that fly around me quite often around while I'm on the show. You also see paranormal stuff that happens while I'm on the show too. I mean, there is a difference between a lot of them. Ray says, I know my current home is paranormal activity. Yeah. I mean, you'll be surprised at how many homes actually are full of paranormal activity. Sometimes you notice it, but don't want to claim it. Sometimes you don't notice it. It's not uncommon. It really is not uncommon. If people realized how many dead was walking around them on a daily basis. Is Urso back in the chat now? Did I miss you? Somebody said hi, Urso, but I'm not seeing him in the chat. Did I miss
No,
him?
he's there.
Is he? Well, hi, Urso. Oh, there you are. Okay. Hey, Urso. But yeah, it's and I think that's one of our biggest problems. I'm not seeing anybody yet wanting to come in.
Well, and that's why I want that's why I want to talk about the whole red eye thing too, because I don't want to be misquoted, because not once do I claim that it's demonic. I merely state that it is an attachment to the supernatural in one way, shape, or form. Which it could include demonic, but it's not the only thing. That's like labeling every shapeshifter out there a skinwalker, folks. You don't do that. Okay. You don't do that. Okay. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between the skinwalker ceremony and a lot of what people are seeing walking around out there that are 9 feet tall and bones wearing deer antlers. Okay. It ain't a skinwalker, guys. I hate to break it to you. Hate to burst your bubble. That is not a walker. Okay. Not at all.
I think I know what video you're talking about, and to me it looks AI. We do have a question, bro, from Henry. I want to put it back up here. Many folks in New England have been seeing orbs. Any thoughts on these? I've got several thoughts on orbs. Do you want to take it first, big bro, or you want me to?
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
So orbs, there's a couple different types of orbs. There is some orbs that is paranormal, yes, and I've captured them. You can go to my YouTube channel and see them, and these are ones that I'm going to tell you. These are orbs. The time of year, the movement, setting off my EMF detectors, that's how I classify what an orb is. Spring, summer, and fall is very hard for me to confirm an orb because you got dust and you got insects that's going to show up like an orb on video, okay? In the dead of winter, when there's no insects and the way that dust moves, and difference between an actual paranormal orb and dust is how I can classify them. So I get more excited about orbs in the wintertime than I do spring, fall, summer. Now you also have the supernatural orbs. Now your supernatural orbs there's types of fae that look a bit are misidentified as fireflies quite often. Balls of energy that shoot out of the woods at your chest. That's going to be your supernatural side of it. Then you got your UFO style orbs, and that's your classification on your orbs. Depending on the situation, what they're doing and how and what is going on in that location really determines what type of orb it is. That's my opinion on it.
Okay. Now let me go and ask Henry a question. Henry, if you can hear me, I want you to tell me at what point is being seen. Are the orbs being observed high up in the sky? Are they being observed ground level? Are they being observed through cemeteries? I mean, these are all things around water. These are all things that are to be collected to gather information on processing exactly what we're being able to see. Okay. My view on the whole orb thing is you do have your almost, I want to say, interdimensional type of orbs. Okay. Everybody calls them UFOs and stuff and portals opening up in the sky. Not everything is a UFO, guys. Not everything is alien. Okay. Spirit has a lot to do with things. Take the Brown Mountain Lights, for instance, okay? An old Native American legend, okay? Of an indigenous culture searching for other indigenous people of its nation, okay? Of its Oyate. And, then you have what I call supernatural type of orbs. See, spirit to me is spirit, and then you have supernatural. Okay, just as much as you have angelic and divine. I believe that there is different stages of different orbs. Okay, if that makes sense. Okay, and a lot of the orbs that you see that people are encountering way up in the sky, it could be a question of is it something that is man-made? Is it humanity based? Okay, is it extraterrestrial based? Okay, is it supernatural based because it's so high up in the sky? Is it just a doorway opening up and letting something come in to this realm? You know, that's one thing that we really don't consider very much when we look up at the sky. Maybe we're not looking at a star. Maybe we're looking at an object that is slightly moving or pulsating because it's a doorway opening up and letting something come into this world or letting something exit this world. Okay, like a doorway, a gateway, okay, a portal. All right. But it's definitely, there's certain stages to these orbs, okay? And I think in order to actually thoroughly investigate orbs, we need to look at every angle. We need to look at every possibility that it could be, okay? Whether it's spirit, whether it's, you know, alien design, technology, military manipulated super secret programs, you know, it could literally be anything. It's been my encounters when dealing with orbs, when you're dealing with white or yellow in color, you're dealing with supernatural, okay? That you're not dealing with a dark, demented, dark type of a being, okay? Supernatural being. You're dealing with something more on the lines of angelic, supernatural, divine, and you know, or just a good spirit, okay, a good elemental, okay. That is from my indigenous teachings, okay, and learning, okay. So on top of that, you have man-made manipulated stuff. You have possibility of other races that have coexisted side by side with humanity for thousands of years that we don't even know, you know, until recently, that they even coexisted with us. It could be their technologies that they're using to manipulate things. It could be, you know, because there's a lot of reports of Bigfoot being sighted with orbs, you know, and all that, and UFOs. It could be literally the essence or the chi of the being that is near it. It could literally be that energy field that is around the human body put in one mass form, and that's the way that energy travels to and from other dimensions. It could literally be, the possibilities of what an orb could be is endless. It's literally endless. It's a bottomless pit because there are so many different types that we just can't label an orb a UFO or a UAP.
Yeah.
Or it's a spirit, you know, it's a ghost, it's this, it's that. We can't label it just one thing. There is multiple reasons for orbs.
I've got a couple examples of different types of orbs that I've captured that I could bring up on here if you want me to. These things I've captured from my game cam. These are also things that I've caught during investigations. Give some people an idea.
Hey, Jason.
Oops. That I can bring up to show people if you want me to, bro. I was looking at that. And then we got Marcy wanting to come on as well. And I put the link in the chat. So I've got her on the list.
Okay.
But if you want me to, I can bring this stuff up. So
yeah, go ahead.
This first one.
Help answer the question.
Yeah, this first one is going to be recording during investigation of the Springfield Commercial Club. And you'll see why I get excited about these style orbs, okay? You're going to literally watch them trigger my security camera. And that's, yep. See how that triggered my light? So that type of stuff, and then these were caught on my game cam, which this could be a spider web. That's why I've never really classified them as an orb, but it's a good example of what some orbs look like when you catch them on camera. This one here, I'm pretty sure is a spider web. I pulled up the wrong picture. I didn't realize that till now. But anyways, when you go, like you're capturing out in the woods, a lot of times your phase is going to look a lot like this right here. So that's things to look at when you're out in nature, is that type of stuff. And we got her backstage, good to go. I'm going to take that down and stop screen share. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys a little bit to give you guys some idea on looking for when it comes to orbs. Jason says, I need prayers, Brother William Nighthawk and E.D. Testerman, author, researcher. Hey, not a problem, bro. Whatever you got going on, all of us is going to keep you in your prayers, Jason. In our prayers, sorry. Deb Wolf wants to know, or the orbs are my plastic eyeballs buzzing like a computer screen. Heck yeah. Everybody, let's welcome Marcy to the stage. I'm going to bring her on, and I'm going to go back through the chats as we're doing that. Hey, good morning, Marcy.
Hey, good morning. How are you this morning?
How we doing, Marcy?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So I was coming on to talk about an incident. There was an incident that happened with my daughter when she was like 5. I'm pretty sure it was supernatural. Where we were living, I had let some people stay with us, which was a guy and his wife, and she had a brother that was handicapped, and they were going to wind up being homeless. And so they were using my daughter's room. Well, at the age of 5, she was having behavioral problems, and they were telling us at that time, put your kid in timeout, which never really worked with Chelsea. But anyway, I tried. So what I had to do was put her in our bathroom, which I didn't even have a lock on the door, but I had to put her in there for timeout because those people were in her room, 3 people. So I hear her just raising Cain, just crashing around in the bathroom, crazy stuff. And all of a sudden she got really quiet. And my mama's instinct was telling me, no, she's too quiet. Something's wrong. And her dad was actually standing out in the hallway outside the door, but he didn't open it. So I go bounding in there. She's on the floor, on her back. She's about 5. Her head is up kind of almost against the bathtub. And I go in there and she's saying, Mommy, there was something big and dark up in the corner. It hurt me. It was scary. And I just kind of looked at her and I was checking her head because I thought maybe she fell and hit her head and there was no lump. And then I noticed her wrists looked like they had rope burns on them. So then I'm freaking out thinking, what has she found in this bathroom to try to hurt herself? And I'm looking around and there's nothing in the bathroom that really could have done that to her. And for years, while she was still younger, even when we would move, she would tell me that dark monster looking thing was still following her. I don't know what that was. I don't know if that was demonic. I know it wasn't good, apparently.
Yeah, and that's one thing too that we've got to consider too, that people that are gifted, okay, and I've said it 100 times already, that when you're dealing with people that have certain, and I hate to label it because it's not a disability. They always, humanity has this way of putting this stigma on something that makes it seem like it's a bad thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, when you're automatically labeled something bad, what do you think is going to be attracted to that label? It's like I've always said that when you name an object, when you give an object an identity, you're giving an object an ability to be possessed or to be controlled in some way, shape, or form. When you name an automobile, when you name a doll, that's why we have so many of these things being supernaturally possessed. Okay, because of these things, you hear so many reports of ghost sightings in cars, and so many dolls being able to move on their own. That's exactly what I mean. It's that negative connection, that power that we give something, because humanity has yet to realize their power. They are pure energy. Okay. And when we give something an identity, we're bestowing upon that something pretty much like life. Okay. We're giving it a strong enough identity to give it a personal name, which makes that very, very sacred connection to humans. Okay. To the person that's naming it. Okay. Same thing with people with disabilities. Okay. When you label somebody that has a disabled person, okay, whether it's physical, psychological, mental, whatever, birth defects, whatever, they automatically are opened up to negative forces, the supernatural forces that we don't see, that coexist with us every second of the day in this world.
Right.
Okay. And it's my opinion, from dealing with the supernatural and especially the dark arts and stuff like that growing up, that people that are, I've said it before on podcast, that people that are disabled are more likely to have supernatural encounters than ones that aren't. Okay. And you can correlate that to a lot of the missing people too, because a good majority of the missing people are disabled, and some of them didn't even know that they were disabled. Some of them didn't know they had a rare blood disease. Some of them didn't know they had lung cancer. Some of them didn't know that they were a certain percentage autistic, somebody, and some of them did know that they were disabled. I mean, being labeled, that stigma, I think, creates a negative force to come forth from the supernatural realm to cause those individuals more turmoil and trouble in their walk in this life. So they're not having the ability to heal themselves supernaturally and spiritually, and B, to control them, because they want more of our kind to be under their control, as far as the dark forces go. And that's where the whole name of labeling something demonic comes up with. And that's why I'm so particular on how I word things. And I take my time to word things. I try to think it out before I open up my mouth now, because when I was younger, I just opened up my mouth, and whatever came out, came out. Well, we forget imagination plays a whole big role in our makeup. Okay. Everything that we do, even the prayers to whoever you pray to, whatever religious faith you have. Okay. Your prayers are increased in volume, hundreds, if not thousands of times over, just from your imagination being put into the prayer.
Put it out the back door real quick. Yeah, so people that have those diagnoses, the negative or the evil preys on the people that are weak or like you said, sick or at a disadvantage. No, she has to have a leash, Chelsea. I mean, she's had things like this going on with her since she was like 4 years old, pretty much up until present day, just periodically and off and on.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
But when she was young now, being that she is on the autism spectrum, she's extremely smart, extremely intelligent. But a lot of times, especially after her near-death experience, which I didn't get told about the near-death experience until like it happened to her when she was about 8. And she didn't tell me until she was like 15 because her cousins left her in a pool and she drowned. And I guess she knew that if she told me, I might get into it with the family over those girls going off and the older girls leaving my 8-year-old alone at the pool. But ever since her near-death experience, I mean, things even ramped up even more. The things that she had said to me just when she was 3, 4 years old, when people in our family would pass away, it was pretty amazing. And I had to always remember that my daughter was still a child. Although she was super intelligent and she could speak like an adult, I still had to realize and recognize and remember she's still a kid. But I've always told her, I feel this way in my heart that if you think positive, I believe more positive things will happen to you. But I believe if you keep a negative mindset, then negative things will probably come about more often the more negative you are in your thinking and even what you say, like you said.
Exactly.
And I do tell her that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And one thing we have to keep in mind too when we walk in this life, in this body is, that we're not part of the game. Okay. The game is actually within us. Okay, if that makes sense. That's the same teaching that Christ was trying to teach people about, as within, so without. Okay, what we speak, what we do on a daily basis contributes to what happens energetically wise around us. Plain and simple. Whether it's induced through prayer, whether it's induced through meditation, whether it's induced just by thinking a thought, or speaking a word harshly, those things induce positive and negative things to happen within our lives every day, every minute of the day. And the supernatural, they tend to try to manipulate humanity because they feed off of the energy of the positive and the negative off of humanity. Okay, we are literally batteries, and we're hooked up to a system that supernaturally steals our energy on a daily basis, for whatever reason that they want.
They even feed off the positive, you're saying?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they feed off everybody. There has been, I have seen literally, and this is just from my gifts alone, walking around. I literally, especially after my near-death experience this last time with the cancer, I literally see these things that I've always called like jellyfish. Okay, and they literally look like solid black mass jellyfish, and they have tentacles coming down. And whenever you feel pain in the base of your neck or in your shoulders, or you feel like you're being oppressed and pushed down into the ground, that is literally them with their tentacles connected to your body, sucking the energy from your body. That's what these things do. Okay. And, there's several different types of, there's more than just, that type. So, when people talk about energy vampires, that's literally the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
It makes sense because, they say women carry their stress in their neck and their shoulders, but there's times that I have more in my shoulder neck area. So, I mean, it makes sense. I can sense and feel things like highly intuitive, but I can't see. I don't see into the spiritual world.
So a lot of times people don't necessarily see, but they can feel. So, no, you go for it. A lot of times people can't see into the supernatural or the paranormal world, but they can feel it. People ask me all the time, how do you tell the difference between something paranormal and supernatural? Communicating with it is one. The energy that it put off, that's a big one too. Oh, cool, Jessica. Your spear her finger. I'm sorry, I was communicating with people in the chat. So, as you spear dinger. But
Like
this is certain ways
into the spiritual or the paranormal. Oh, my daughter was saying she can see at times into the spiritual and the paranormal.
Well, Marcy's
She's
daughter,
been doing that.
Come share your face on the screen so I can talk to you. I want to ask you some questions. Can you hear me, sweetie? Don't be shy.
Coming. She's
I'm just
shy.
a fluffy guy.
She's kind of shy. Guy. She knows you, Mr. Fluffy.
Heck yeah. You go talk to the fluffy guy.
We might want to talk to you about some of your it really would be better for her to talk about some of her.
Yes.
Because it's coming directly from her. She had to get her eyes on. Sit right here and I'll sit beside you. Yeah, she had to get her eyes on. She's almost legally blind. It takes that from her father.
I got mine too. I need new contacts. So, hey, what's up?
Hello, I'm the one that can see and hear and stuff like that.
So if you wouldn't mind, sweetie, are you okay with kind of describing to me some of the things that you've noticed when you do have these experiences?
Like at the corner of your eyes and stuff.
Out of the corners of my eyes, sometimes like my peripheral, I'll see a little dark shadows, or like it could be like little shadows of insects, but it's not like the original insects we see on Earth. It's like something different.
Yeah. Kind of like, before my show got destroyed last night and shut down accidentally, I was talking about how I was on All Hallows Eve. I was sitting in my chair, and from the corners of my eye, in front of my eye, I thought what I saw was a moth, but there was no moth there. Is it kind of similar? Is that what you're kind of talking about? Is something like that? You swear you see something?
Shadow light, though.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like you know how shadow figures would be, but it's insects or just little things out of the peripheral.
Yeah, that is actually very common. So everybody has the gift of discernment within them, sweetie, and some people are more in tune to it than the others. Depends on how much you've been reprogrammed into not believing this stuff. Okay, a lot of it has to deal with your type of energy that you put out, that you have within you. So if you're in touch with that type of stuff, you're going to notice some of this stuff more than others. Now, for many years, I thought this was a curse, and I really did. Now, did I use that curse to help people? Yes. It wasn't until Pastor Joe Campbell taught me that this wasn't a curse. This is actually a gift from Yahuwah that everybody has been giving. You're more in tune to it than others because you're more open to it. Does that make sense?
I know for the longest time I was too scared to use it or think about it. I would sleep with my head under a pillow or something just to make them go away. Yeah. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Well, I'm here to tell you, you're not cursed. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're not cursed at all. You're not hexed at all. You're actually gifted. Okay, you are gifted to the point where you can actually see things that most people can't see their whole lives. So trust me, I see everything that you see and a lot more. So never think that it's a disability, because it's not.
It's not a disability.
When I see ghosts, I've had a family member that had their head crushed by a amusement park ride. When I first saw their spirit, all I could see was like that missing part, just part of the, matter and all that just left there,
So something you want to make practice is, when you see that type of thing, that's scary, and I get it. And I'm sorry that, that's scaring you, sweetie. It can be scary when you're first used to it. One of the things you may want to try doing, and this may help you out, is acknowledging that they used to be alive at one time, so they're still human. Start seeing them more as a human. Sometimes that this damaged part will disappear, and you'll see more of a more familiar, friendly looking face, if that makes sense. Your energies that you put out, how you connect with that individual, will determine on how they approach you. Now, if it's something supernatural, that's going to be different, sweetie. Learn how to tap into that energy and read the energy. Mm-hmm.
I see soldiers like that too, but
Mhm.
since I don't know them personally, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
the town that we, the
yeah,
town
just
we
kind
live in, we've actually been walking through the town, and she would
Mhm.
tell me, "Mom, don't you see that soldier?" I'm like, "Where?" Thinking somebody's dressed up, but she can see
Yeah.
like what the old town used to look like. She will tell
Yes.
me that it was old dirt road.
Wild West style.
She said Wild West, like in a small
Yeah.
town not far from us, a very small town. She told me that
Mhm.
we went to visit a friend. It's about a 20-minute drive from here. And she told me the old town looks about the same on the outside, modern on the inside. Very
Yeah.
small. We call it Mayberry. But anyway, she told me, Mom, I see a young girl with an older man in a wagon, and the
Mhm.
girl's crying. And I said, "The girl's crying." She said, "Yes, I think her parents are making her go with this man, and she doesn't want to go." And I'm
Mhm.
thinking to myself, I'm thinking that's so cool, but that she can see those things. But it does scare her if because the
It
spirits
does.
that she sees will allow themselves to be seen as what took their life, and that's really
Yes.
traumatic to her at times to see that.
It is, and that's why I'm trying to tell you is so. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've dealt with that for years and years and years. It's until I started learning certain things, and this is one of the things that I've used to help me in this situation is see them as a human, see them still as being a human, and you'll see how they'll manifest and actually look regular instead of how they were unalived. Okay.
Mhm.
Your energy that you put out, the energy of them you sense. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret here, and this is something I learned too. That fear that you feel whenever you come across these things is not necessarily your fear. It's partly your fear. A
It's
lot of it
their
is their fear
fear.
because you have that. Yeah, you have the
Yep.
ability to. How do we put this? To evict them from the area. Okay, we'll use that word. That's a polite word to use on YouTube. You have the ability to evict them from an area, and that scares them. So a lot of time, it's their fear that you're feeling. You're always going to have a little bit of that fear too, sweetie. So learn how to live with that fear and rise above it. Use it as your ally. You'll have to do some training to learn how to tap into that energy that they're putting out, and that energy is going to let you know: is it something good? Is this something bad? Is this a dearly departed, or is this a supernatural entity? And it takes a lot of practice, but you can do it. I have faith in you. Okay, I was very much like you when I was little, and I know you can do this. And through
I've been
practicing, through learning, you can overcome this.
I've been seeing things since I was like
Hmm. Yeah.
4 years
Oh,
old.
I know. Yeah, my first time of ever seeing a super paranormal entity, I was 3 years old, and it was my late grandmother that took her life. And that whenever I was
Mm.
born, she helped keep me alive,
Oh
and
wow.
she was one of the very few paranormal entities that was able to physically pick me up. Okay, paranormal being physical in that way is very rare, but her
Wow.
love for me gave her the power to be able to do that, and she picked me up and held me, and she kept saying,
Mm.
Eric, I love you, I'm always going to be here for you, and I'm always going to protect you. Okay, that type of love can change things, much like the night marchers in Hawaii. Their
Mm.
devotion to their duty is the reason why they're one of the few paranormal activity entities that can cause physical harm to the living. So that's something you're going to have to learn, that when it comes to
Are you
paranormal with the
talking about
physical
those
harm.
dancing little bushes thingies? Those little bush things that dance on their own?
Are you talking about the Fae?
No, she was talking about what you were just talking about.
They dance or whatever.
She was trying to
Oh, the
describe
night,
it. That's what. Yeah, those.
the night
They
marchers.
look
Yeah, the
like
night marchers.
they look like
The night
dancing
marchers.
bushes.
Okay, and that's not the night marchers. That's something different. Night
Okay.
marchers is actually
Okay.
the guards of the kings of Hawaii, kings, queens, and gods and
Oh,
goddesses of Hawaii. They're
right.
very lethal. If you are not allowed to look upon them, even when they're
Mm.
alive. If you looked upon them, the punishment was instant unaliving. Okay, that is
Yeah.
one of the very few paranormal instances where they can cause that type of harm, and that's because their devotion to their duty. Okay, just like my late grandmother's devotion to me gave her that power to be able to pick me up and hold me to comfort me like she did when she was alive, is the same reason why they can. So just so once you learn this stuff and you get used to it, it gets better. Will it ever get easy, sweetie? No, I'm sorry, it'll never get easy, but it does get better. So don't let it deter you. Don't let it feed your fear. Realize it's their fear. Okay, turn that into your weapon, into your tool, and use that to help you further on. And it'll help you. And the more you communicate, you'll know. Like, I mean, I've done this many times. I've helped the late departed pass on and move on
I've
because they
tried
had
to help
something.
them pass
Mhm.
through.
That's what your gift is for. Your gift is to help them. Okay. And like that video I did at Indian Point, I helped a young girl and 12 others move on from a tragic situation that happened to them at Indian Point.
See?
Once you learn how to communicate to them, learn how to read their feelings. Reading their feelings is going to tell you a lot of what they're trying to do, just as much as their words. So learn how to communicate with them, learn how to read their energies. All this is going to help you in the future. So don't run from your gift. I mean, I've done that for years. Don't run from your gift. This is a gift.
Sometimes it depends on the like paranormal stuff. Like sometimes I just see them as an outline, like not their full,
Yeah.
like what they look like or whatever. I just see like the outline of a
You're still
human.
you're
Yeah.
still developing your gift. You're still developing
Yeah.
your gift. So you have to remember that too. Your gift is going to be ever growing and ever increasing. You're going to see over time, you'll see more definition. Actually, the closer you get to like say my age or your mom's age, you're going to be able to discern more fine detail in things. That's just the way the gift works. It increases over time, and it's almost like these gifts are given to us to help us discern our way of presenting ourselves and our gift to people in this world.
I don't
if
know
that
if
makes
y'all
sense.
had.
It's almost like. No, go ahead.
I don't know if y'all have had near-death experiences, but I've had one. When I was younger, my cousins left me to go be with boys, and I drowned in a pool.
I've flirted with death on several occasions.
I drowned in a pool.
I've actually died. I've had 3 NDEs, near-death experiences, and my first just after 3.5 years old. No, I was 3.5 years old when I had my first one.
I was
my
8.
near-death experience. So yeah, I was. Yeah, I know, and it's something that it actually makes us more susceptible to having the supernatural stuff happen to us. It turns our way of seeing things and feeling things and hearing things on a supernatural level from a 2 to a +12 on a dial. It literally turns that dial all the way up, and that's why we people that have near death experience or even disabilities, so they say, are more susceptible.
Do y'all ever feel like the spirits, like pain and stuff? Like, like whatever happened to them, do y'all ever feel like that?
Say again, Sweetie. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, empathy.
Empathy.
Oh yeah, empathy. Yeah.
Yep, that's a big one. That's a big way to discern. That's how they get their message across to us, because they can't. Some people have the ability, like me. I can hear them talk to me and explain to me things. Some people take it as mind speaking, but others interpret it through being an empath. Okay, where they can actually feel the heartache and the pain and the suffering that those individuals went through. So yeah, that's very common, actually.
Yeah. I'm gonna, I could say this, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for William on this too. When you start having these questions and you start experiencing this stuff, sweetie, you can reach out to me or William, and we'll try to help you through this and help you to understand it more. So please feel free, if you got questions on this, reach out to Brother William or myself, and we'll try to help you out the best we can. Just I encourage you to not let that fear consume you. Turn that fear into your ally. Use it to aid. You have a gift to help people who need it that's no longer breathing, okay? So what a lot of people don't understand, these supernatural entities and these paranormal entities, they all have an energy and an aura about them, just like they were when they're living. They just don't have a fleshy body no more. They're just that straight aura, that energy, however it is you want to describe it. Use that, because that's going to tell you a lot. That's going to tell you their story. It's going to tell you their history. When you're doing EVPs with them and you're talking to them, you're like a detective, okay? Approach it like being a detective, and then you'll be able to get the answers that they're trying to get out and help them. Sometimes they just have a message for somebody they need to deliver on. Sometimes it's they want people to know what happened to them. Other times, especially in supernatural, they're trying to warn you that something bad is going to happen, or they themselves are trying to do something bad. And that's going to, the more you learn how to read into this, the more you know how to handle that situation. And you're going to do great. You're going to do great things if you take this responsibility on and you learn how to use it. You're going to do some great things. What's that, William? Sorry, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
So, thank you for sharing, sweetheart. We appreciate it.
Thank you for talking to her, both of you, because being that I can only sense things, I've told her she has a gift. I knew she had a gift, but I'm mom, okay? My kids never listen to me. They would go talk to anyone else in the world, but mom is old as dirt, dust, as she says about me. She doesn't listen to me much, really. So, especially Eric, coming from you guys that have that gift. Of course, you can explain and tell her a lot more than I can. I knew she had a gift when my 4-year-old started telling me things she was seeing, but I haven't experienced it myself. That part of the gift, I'm just more intuitive. So it really was hard, and I think she held back a lot of things from me because I think she had a fear that I wouldn't believe her. Due to the fact there's mental health diagnosis throughout both sides of my family and her father's family as well, I think she thought that I would think, just throw her on medication. But no, I'm learning. We're more awake. The child that I have woke me up more to, and we take as little of medication as we can get by on. Try to go back to more natural things. So I really do appreciate you talking to her. That means a lot to me because she won't listen to mom. Kids never do.
We get that. We get that. No worries. No worries. Thank you both for sharing your guys' stuff.
Yes, thank you so much for letting us come on, and thank you for having her on. And I'm surprised because she's so shy, but I'm sure with her
Oh.
empathic ability, she's, and she's certainly watching your podcast, both of your podcasts. So she listens. When I think she's not listening, she's listening.
Oh yeah, and like I said, just have her reach out to one of us. We'll help her the best we can. We both, I've been probably more down her side of the road than William has, only because William was taught that from a young age. I wasn't. I was outcasted.
Right.
I was looked down upon. I
Her
didn't
too.
have that guiding. Yeah, I didn't have that guide like Brother William did.
I was an
growing up learning. I
outcast
literally
too.
learned. You was, but
Yeah, I mean,
your
I've always,
family,
I've
your
always
family
believed
history is-
in, I've always believed in her abilities, but I'm not the one that has that part of the gift myself. I'm not that gifted. So, believing is one thing, but someone that really knows, and when she has questions the fear, she's always, the fear has just ate her alive. So I'm glad that you talked to her about not letting that fear consume her.
Yeah, and what I mean by outcast is, yeah, brother, but you had parents that taught you that stuff. I didn't. I didn't have that. I literally was in your daughter's shoes, and so I know
well,
where
she and
she's
I are the
coming
black sheep of the family. She and I are the black sheep of the family. I got a diagnosis of bipolar. I was outcasted forever. So we're used to being the outcast and the black sheep.
from. Yeah, but thank you both for sharing. We really do.
Thank you so
appreciate
much for
that.
allowing us to.
You're welcome. Boar, you being a pain in the butt. Hey guys, give me a minute. I'll be back. I've got to let Boar out. He's giving me that I got to poop or I'm going to poop in your floor talk right now. So I shall be right back because I don't want him pooping in my floor.
Okay. All right. Fine. Go ahead. We don't want no dog poopies here. Coming on here. Let's see. We have got, let me see. Let me get to the chat here. Let's see. Uh-oh, Stuart's in the chat, everybody. And Tanya, good to see you in the chat. Monisha, good to see you in the chat. Let's see. Unreal, good to see you. Bounty, good to see you. Who else we got in here that snuck in while I wasn't looking? Who else? We've got, let's see. There's Linda. Good to see you, Linda. Okay. And of course, we got Jason and Carl. Carl delivering packages again. Hope he's doing himself. Okay. As soon as Eric comes back, I will get the list going again, and we'll get more people to come on. Okay. So.
All right. I need to get up here where I left off on messages. Once again, everybody, sorry I wasn't putting them up, but it was hiding our guest. Yeah. I got to come up here where I left off at. I've got it marked. We also have a question as soon as I can find it too. Bounty had a question for us. What is the purpose of some people being able to tell when people are going to pass away?
To guide them, to guide their spirit on where to go, and how to leave.
Yeah.
And also it's not just that connection either, though. It is also a connection that that not only are we meant to guide people, that when we see their spirits leave their body. I dealt with this a lot being in the hospitals with the cancers, because I was in there for probably over a year total inside hospitals, and I watched people die on a nightly basis, and I saw their spirits, and I helped their spirits leave their bodies. So yes, but it's also to bring the spirits of their ancestors to them, to help them with transferring from the body, the physical form, into the spiritual form. So,
yeah, that's perfect example right there, and I agree with that 100%. So I hope that answered your question, Bounty. But once again, I want to thank Marcy and her daughter for coming on. That was great. Is there anybody else wants to come on? Let me know in the chat, and I'll get you set up.
Yep. 15 minutes of fame, people. It's your 15 minutes of fame.
Or we'll try to help you out too. That's our job here.
And I'm going to, while we're doing that, I'm going to mess with the frequency generator a little bit, and I'm going to see what I can kick up. Okay. You guys are probably going to hear some things. I'm hoping that the electronics doesn't get affected by this. Okay. So this is merely an experiment. Okay. And I'm going to start out with 9,999 hertz. Okay. That's going to be the starting point. What I'm hoping to achieve is some kind of, I'm using this device right here. Okay. And I have it sitting right in front of my laptop. Okay. And what I'm hoping to achieve with this is some kind of fluctuation, whether it's atmospheric, whether it's electronic. If anybody hears a static or their electronic starts to glitch, let me know. Because this is just one of multiple things that I do in my little room here, my little room with my coffee maker, and the laptop and all that, where I do the podcast. This is kind of like my science experiment room. So I'm going to try it here and see what happens, and just kind of let me know. If you here, let me see if I can put this down. Don't mind my mess either, guys. Okay. All right. Right there is the sound generator. Let me put it towards the center of the screen. Okay. Now I'm going to just sit back and I'm going to play it for, I'm going to use my own energy. In other words, what I'm going to do, Eric, and everybody in the chat, is I'm going to take my energy, my chi, my energy that is around my body, okay, and I'm going to manipulate it on top of this sound device, this speaker, to where the frequency, the sound frequency generator sound is going to come out of, okay, and hopefully by my energy being part of it, and the frequency will conduce a small portal or some kind of electronic interference, okay, into what you guys are seeing and observing on your end, and what I'm seeing and observing on my end. Okay, something will happen. Okay, whether the strength of it's going to be good or bad, I don't know. Okay, I could even blow up my computer for that matter. I don't know. Okay, but I have done this before, to where I have literally had a ball of light the size of a golf ball above this device. Okay. So, and as soon as I turned the sound frequency off, it disappeared. So I'm going to go ahead and try it. Okay. So I've got that going. The camera's here. You can see where my hand is. There's nothing here. Okay. Nothing at all. My coffee cup is here though. Okay. I've got it on my hot plate. Let me get my glasses on so I can see.
I'm going to see if I can make it bigger by me going backstage while you do this. Give me 1 second. If it doesn't work, I'll be back on.
All right. Okay, here we go. I don't want this to affect anybody, so just, this is not a level of hertz that's going to hurt anybody physically either, okay? So right away, I can feel my palms of my hand getting very hot. Very hot. Now I'm going to bring my hands closer together, and I'm going to rotate my hands like I'm cupping the size of a small basketball, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm conducting my energy, my chi, over top of where the frequency is coming out of. Now I am literally seeing, and this may be because I've got my glasses on to see better, but between my, oh no, that is really happening. Okay, I'm seeing literally a mist, a smoke coming off of the top of this speaker between my hands. It's a real faint mist. And my hands, the palms of my hands are extremely hot right now. I mean, we're talking like putting my hand in like hot tub water, that kind of hot. And the closer my hands get together, the stronger that heat is. Gotta give my hands a break. I'm gonna let that play for a couple of minutes here and see what happens. If anything. Get my glasses off, maybe. Now I'm seeing a glow. I'm definitely seeing a glow. Yeah, there's a glow around me. That sound you're hearing, Tanya, is literally the frequency generator. I'm literally manipulating energy right now, guys. I can feel the palms of my hands are literally like on fire practically. That's how hot they are. It's like holding almost boiling water in the palm of my hands. There is I'm wearing a black hoodie, okay? Literally a black hoodie. Yeah, it's got some dog hair on it from Jacob, from holding him earlier. But I don't know if you guys are seeing it. I'm seeing a glow. Literally a glow. That is weird. All right, I'm going to turn the sound generator off. Okay. All right, it's off. And the glow's gone. And my hands have been up here, guys. The glow is gone. There's no glow on my shirt anymore. There's no glow behind me. So that tells me, okay, from just that experiment alone, that tells me that 9,999 hertz is a starting point. Okay. Now, is it evidence of opening a portal? I don't know. Okay. But this is stuff that I do. Okay. This is stuff that I practice with. Okay. And I don't know. It's like I've always said with water. With water, you're dealing with something that Yeah, Melissa, I can definitely understand that. Your ears are probably ringing because of the sound frequency. Um, what I want to know, what I want to know is, did anybody's devices in any way tweak a little bit? Did anybody's phones or electronic devices have any type of abnormality happen to them? A crackling sound, a static electricity sound, like taking aluminum foil and crinkling it up, or popping those little plastic bubble package wrap things, that kind of stuff. I want to know if anybody's experienced that while I was doing that, because there was literally a glow when I was doing that. And I don't know if everybody saw it, but there was literally a glow. Okay. Thank you, Ray. Thank you for letting me know. No tweaking device here, Marcy says. Okay. And let's see who else. I don't know who we got in the chat right now, if anybody's still there.
Yeah, I didn't have anything going on, but to me, the glow seemed like it was coming from that speaker. So that's why I wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention.
And that's completely freaking weird. Now I've got the sound device frequency generator completely off. Okay. And as soon as I turned it off, everything went back to normal. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is the kind of energy stuff that I talk about. Okay. When we deal with the supernatural, we have no concept on here. We have no concept. I don't know if you want to see my face or not. We have no concept on the abilities of the energies that we personally generate. Okay. So when we combined it with other things, and I'm not telling people to go out there and do this on your own. I do it because I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Okay. I've literally got nothing to lose. So if it harms me, so what? It harms me. But if I'm successful at proving to people that our personal energy, our chi, our spiritual energy can help open portals, maybe, just maybe, this same process can be used by certain cryptids, by certain other technologically advanced beings. Okay. I'm not saying aliens. I'm not saying demons. I'm not going to give it a label. Okay. But if I can manipulate the energy within my space, within 3 feet around me, in my own little universe, think about what can happen if everybody does that. Or if, say, CERN does that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that's my point. That's what I wanted to prove. And I'm really glad that I had something happen here to where you guys could see it. I'm literally shaking right now. My hands are still warm, but my hands literally felt, Eric, like they were on fire on the palms of my hands.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've sat there and done that before, where I just kind of held it there and focused and imagined with my mind's eye that the energy was forming a ball between my hands, and I can literally feel the palms of my hands warming up when I do that.
That sound frequency generator, I think that helped a lot with manipulating that energy field. And I think that if I had a third hand and had the ability to use my other hand and increase the hertz on it, we might have been able to tap into a portal. It's very, very possible. David, I'd like you and Melissa to, if you guys have the electronics there, and have the time, maybe, I wish I had someone that I could have here to help me with it. You know what I mean? I really think that eventually I will be able to open the portal. And what I'm talking about, whenever we talk about a portal, I'm talking about something that we really are just speculative on what a portal is. Some people, Einstein called it the Rosen theory, as far as, you know, a wormhole. Okay.
Rosenberg
yeah,
Bridge.
yeah. As far as a wormhole goes, others out there talk about it being a way to manipulate or peel back space and time, a slice within the veil, so to speak. I'm just glad I had a certain reaction from it today, and I'm going to practice with this, and we're going to try it again next Sunday, at a different frequency, at a different level, and see what happens. Okay. I almost want to say that, and what's crazy about it, this is what's crazy about it, guys. The other day, when I was talking with David and Melissa, I brought up the fact that we have to look for patterns, okay, in everything. And, you know, because we don't know what kind of world we live in, we have to find certain patterns, certain repetitive things. Some people call them angelic numbers. Other people look for certain sequences. Spirals are a good one. You know, that whole, the tree of life is another one. Okay. I also tend to look at reoccurring colors. Okay. Now here's why I'm saying this. What was the color that I generated just now?
Blue.
Blue. Okay. Definitely it was blue. Okay. The two colors that I see a lot of around me and in everything that I interact in are blue and red. And I said that the other day to David and Melissa when we talked about looking for certain patterns in life. Okay. So if I see a lot of blue and red, does that mean that that's what my energy is? Could be. And it could be why I see those two colors more often in my spectrum than I do other colors, if that makes sense. Okay. So that being said, is that a portal that opened up? It very well could be. It very well could be. Is it just my energy, personal energy, that I manipulated and that glow happened? I don't know. But I can tell you right now, here, let me turn this off and get it out of the way. I can tell you right now that this does not glow. Okay. This is merely a speaker. That's all it is. Okay. That's all it is. I want to know if I would have found the crystal that I had. I was really hoping to be able to put a crystal on top of that with copper wrapped around it. And the reason I say that is because whenever energy is created, it's got to store like a battery somehow. And a crystal is a good battery. Think about it. You got the crystal skulls. Mm-hmm. People say that the crystal skulls are like computers, that they store knowledge. Well, a crystal might be able to store, it's wrapped in copper, might be able to store the energy of that portal that I was trying to open. So that energy could be tapped within that crystal. You see where I'm going with this? In other words, when we figure out the connection that we have with sound frequency and personal energy, personal chi, we have unlocked something. Okay. I'm not saying that we are God. I'm not saying that we are superhuman, because we're not. Okay. We're nobodies. Okay. we are taught as Native people to be as humble as water, lower than any other life form on this planet, because water seeks the lowest level, okay? The least resistance. So, but yet when water comes together, it's strong enough to move a mountain. I believe that same theory works with our own personal energy, okay? Our own spiritual, supernatural energy that is around us every second of our lives. And that we have an ability within us to unlock that potential. So, you know, and that's just my 2 cents. And anybody out there, did you have any pets near when I did that? Because I want to know the reactions of pets. I want to know if they, you know, how like a dog will or a cat will tweak their head and look at you a certain way, cock their head a little bit when they're trying to pretend to listen or understand. You know, those are other things to take in consideration, that maybe these levels of what I'm working with energy wise not only can open portals, but maybe, just maybe, that's the energy frequency that our pets are seeing, that they interact with when things become weird or supernatural around them or paranormal.
Mine didn't. He just laid there.
So it's just a thought. And this is just the first time I decided to do it here, you know, on camera. And I'm glad I did. So, all right, who else we got coming on, Eric?
I haven't got anybody say anything in the chat yet.
Oh, look at what Bounty just said. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yep.
Wow.
Snow just laid there on this pillow.
Well, maybe, and here's another
mine-
thing too. Here's another thing to consider too, Eric. Maybe, just maybe, that animals react to some animals react, like cats and dogs, to more of a malevolent energy, a dark energy. Okay, and not and seeing as I generated that blue, whatever it was, mist or however you want to call it, whenever I energized that, maybe coming from me, it wasn't coming from a dark place. And maybe that's why a lot of the pets didn't react. But maybe the rabbit sees more of a frequency than what the dogs and the cats do. I mean, there's always that possibility.
Good.
So,
yeah.
and I'm just thinking out loud, guys. Okay. And I know for a fact that this stuff, we're capable of doing this. Each and every one of us are capable of doing this. And that's why I'm glad I pulled that experiment off right now. Okay. We are each have an ability. Okay. And it's been locked out of us. It's been drained out of us. Our knowledge has been zapped out of us, and and been refused to be given back to us. Okay. Now, is that the same thing that Lucifer said? Think about it. You know, I mean, is that the reason that this whole supernatural stuff is happening now? Because that supernatural battle never ended? Is it something that has continued because humanity puts an emphasis on space and time doesn't mean other dimensions do?
What is it?
Maybe
1 year in heaven is 10,000 or 100,000 years on Earth? I can't remember. So people forget that aspect.
Yep. Anyways, who else we got ready to come on? Anybody? I want to hear some more stuff, guys. Hey, Hillbilly.
I haven't got anybody yet. We have no takers.
No takers.
Yeah.
Even
Pretty
after that
scared.
experiment. Even after that experiment, you little turds.
Mhm. Rabbits don't stay around the house much between the cats, dogs, and me because there ain't nothing like good old rabbit dumplings.
Stew.
That's some
Hasen
good eats right there.
pfeffer.
I tell you, man, rabbit dumplings is pretty daggone good. So is roasted rabbit. Yeah,
I want me some Hasen pfeffer.
that's some awesome pepper.
Oh.
Gotta have the awesome pepper.
And just as much as I talk about the sound frequency stuff and generating and all that, I just want everybody to know that I also have these. This is an electromagnetic pouch that I can put any cell phone in to protect it from like an EMP. So I always carry this with me, by the way, because whether it's my phone or whether it's some kind of electronic equipment that I don't want damaged, I always toss it in here and take it with me. So, because you never know with the way things are. So, but nobody else wants to come on.
Nobody got afraid of your awesome pepper.
Yeah, Faraday cage. That's correct, Corey. I can't believe Corey doesn't want to come on and talk about something supernatural because he's got supernatural coming out his butthole.
He's scared. He's scared. He's scared.
Oh, he's too shy. Oh no, Celia, you're not shy. Come on. You're not shy. Come on. Nothing, Daryl?
I don't want nobody to see me.
Nothing at all, Daryl? Nothing to talk about? You don't have any weird, freaky stuff happening with you?
Roxanne's over there tooting. Sound like a motorboat.
Oh, can't talk in front of 8 people. Okay. All right. Understandable. Well, you don't have to have your camera on. Well, you don't have to have your camera on.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. That's not true, Corey. You know darn well that's not true. All right. Well, since nobody wants to come on, I guess we're going to go ahead and just end it. Okay. Now, those of you that watched this from the beginning and that have stuck with us throughout the whole thing, whoever can tell me what I believe self-illuminated superhuman type of glowing red eyes represent. What is the connection? What did I say the connection was? And I will mail you Monday morning. I will stick in the mail this quantum Bigfoot card that I made. Okay.
Oops, sorry.
That I have made. Okay. And it's stuffed full of all kinds of stickers and stuff in there. And I have ghost stickers in there. I have alien UFO stickers in there. I have Mothman stickers in there. I have Bigfoot stickers in there. Whoever can tell me, the first person to tell me what I mean when I talk about red glowing eyes, self-illuminated eyes. Okay, very good. Okay, was Marty the first one?
Marty was the first one.
Okay. Marty, I want you to drop me an email with your mailing address, and I will mail this to you. Okay. I don't matter. It doesn't matter if you're in another country. It doesn't matter to me. Okay. I have the postage. I will mail it to you. Okay. It's the last card that I have ever made, and last card I probably ever will make, to tell you the truth. But it's going to be packed full of certain stickers too. So, that being said, I'm glad we did that experiment today. lakotaman333@gmail.com is my email. I'll give it to somebody else. Okay, well, who was
Jonaside
second
was the
then?
next one. Jonaside
Okay,
was the
Jonaside.
next.
Okay, Jonaside. Email lakotaman333@gmail.com with your address, and I'll send that to you, okay? If you would, please.
Bounty did say that she'd come on. Let me get back up to her deal.
Okay.
I'll come on if you want to hear about a small valley in Utah. It is a whole process that happens. Weird cow dies, kids' school bells. I don't know what it is. I have a lot of mysteries.
Sure, that's fine with me. We can bring her on. We got another 15 minutes. We can go another 15 minutes.
All right, Bounty, I'm putting the link in the chat again for you. Come on down.
And I'm down
The
to my last
water
cup of
is
coffee.
fine.
I'm down to my last cup of coffee, so we made it. All right. I gotta stir my
I'm surprised
coffee.
Monisha, where she lived at, she ain't got a whole lot of supernatural stuff up there along with that paranormal. And David and Melissa. Corey's
Yeah, well,
just
David
too
and
busy
Melissa, if
getting
you
a hold of
recall-
that broccoli.
Well, if you recall, David and Melissa talked about Melissa's hair being touched again just yesterday on the podcast.
Oh, I didn't hear
So,
that. Oh, okay, yeah, I was getting that car. That's why I missed it. Oh, so it happened again. Cool.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stage, Bear.
Hello.
Hola, ¿cómo está usted?
I don't understand that. Maybe speaking ancient language, that might go through.
I said, hello, how are you today?
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, Michelle, you're awesome. Thank you so much, sweetheart. She done a
Thank you, Michelle.
1999 stiff. That is so cool.
Yeah, thank you, dear. That means a lot.
So,
That I just want to say, first of all, that experiment, I don't know what it did exactly yet. It feels like my brain is like, I don't know, like supercharged but numb in a way, but it's doing something I've never felt before, whatever the heck it is.
Awake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's literally I'm feeling the same effects right now, and it's probably about 100 times more potent.
It's very, it's like my whole head is humming, and if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's a lasting effect or if it's a way of opening up a part of our DNA that we have forgotten. But I expect people that are more gifted, like yourself and Eric and myself and others in the chat that had gone through that with us. And when I generated that blue mist, that they will probably develop more sensitivity over time. So I'm really, that's the road that I'm led down right now to see if that actually is what happens. So just out of curiosity.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Okay, this little valley in Utah. there's train tracks. You go up, it's in a very tight canyon. You have to cross train tracks, which is also interesting because I've also found that in a lot of these little hidden away call them corners or whatever. And I call them corners because it reminds me of like corners in a house where energy and beings are trapped by something. It seems something else that is stronger or is manipulating the area. And there's always railroad tracks that go diagonal across the road, not like in a T shape, but it's always an awkward angle.
Oh man, I just had a cold chill go down my spine when you said that. I don't know why.
Yeah, that canyon is like almost like my nemesis. I'm constantly drawn to it. I have to stay away from it. I can only go up there so much.
You know, I really, Bear, I really believe that whole area is. I know I'm going to sound crazy, okay, and you know that's okay, because I don't have much longer left. I don't have much time left in this world, and I'm going to just go ahead and say it, guys. Okay, you know, you guys know I do these experiments. You guys know that I've always done these experiments, especially since I've died, and trying to make these connections. And I'm such a firm believer that we are entrenched within a supernatural world. Okay, that we are literally batteries. And I believe that when we talk about certain areas of America, not even the other countries in the world, okay, but even just America, I believe that certain areas of this country are the original lands of the Bible. And I'm just going to put it out there. I believe that all the way from the Grand Canyon into Utah,
yep,
is the original Egypt. I do. I the frequencies that ground puts out. And I've been to Utah, and I've been to California, and I've been to Nevada, and I've been to Arizona. I've been to every state in the union, including Alaska. Okay. I've been there. And each time I go to that part of the country, I have an overwhelming ancient feeling. Like before anything as far as even native culture goes. If that makes sense. I don't know, Bear.
Yeah.
That's just me.
No, it does. It's old.
Well, when
it's
you talked
older.
about it put a chill down my spine when you were just talking about it. And it's very, very freaky to me.
Okay, when you're in the car, you cross these railroad tracks. That's when the canyon starts to narrow more. Now, there's old water towers up there and stuff because there used to be a little old mining town up there. You can still see some of the little rock foundation parts, but that's pretty much all that's left. You get to this gate where, because there's actually, I do not know how this person lives up there, but there's a dude that lives up there and he has cattle. He has a lot of problems with them. Tried telling him, you should leave, but whatever. Anyway, you have to open his gate and then close it. It's just the typical wood with barbed wire poles type thing. But on the sides of this, and you can only go up there at certain times. You have to have a feeling. It doesn't happen like every single night or whatever. And it has to be a full moon. The best time to go is, unfortunately, Halloween, of course.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
It always is.
there's bushes that have grown on the sides by this gate. Now, when you get up to the gate, you're going to see a bunch of little tiny, like, red eyeballs. They're not round, they're more like a kind of like I hate to say it, but like the Egyptian eye, you know how it tapers at both ends type thing. But they're angled to where
Yep,
they're
they all say
pointing. Okay. There's just a bunch of little bunches of them in the freaking tree on the bushes on both sides of you. And you have to get out of the car to undo the gate. Once you do that, push the gate back. The car goes through. Once you close the gate, a little bit down the road, oh, and I hate this part. A cow, a black and white cow that is just ungodly huge. It's not even, it doesn't even make sense. It's like 8 feet tall and crap. But the eyes are so bulging, you can tell it's terrified. Once you get past that, and you have to look at it.
I can't remember the name. I can't remember the name of the culture that came here before the white people came here from. Oh, it was somewhere over by Italy where they sacrificed the bulls. God, I can't remember the name of them now. Eric, maybe you know.
Are you talking about Greece? Rome? See, Greece,
where they
Rome.
sacrificed. They did the blood sacrifice of the bulls.
A lot of countries did. I mean, Norse did it, the Greece did it, the Romans did it, the Italian, most of the Italians did it.
This would be around Greece. It would be around Greece. I can't remember.
You
It
got
started
Spartans.
with a P, I thought.
Oh,
the Crete.
No, God blame it. No, I just lost it.
Pathogens? No.
Yeah. Pathogen or something like that. Yeah. Parthians. Daggone it. Parthians.
That's it.
Oh, no. Unreal got it. No, it was the
Minoans. Oh, okay. Yeah. The Hindus did do it to a degree, but cows are like gods to them. So, yeah, India didn't really do it. Yeah, correct her. So,
yeah.
Okay.
So it was. It's almost like that land out there is literally cursed with malevolent energy because of that kind of a society, and maybe that's why you're seeing what you're seeing out there, Bear.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense. And it's a female cow. It's not a bull. And just you can see the terror,
which represents the sacred feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. You have to look her in the eyes and feel her terror before, because your car will die if you don't look her in the eyes and like feel her terror. Your car will just die. Once you make acknowledgement, the car you can go on. You keep going up the canyon.
Right.
And there's an area where there used to be, and during this you're passing all these little where the homes used to be thing. And then you get up to the open area where they used to have like the general store and the school and the church, because the school and the church were the same, just a little tiny. And even though the building's not there or anything, I can see where the buildings were. And it's crazy. I took my husband and my 2 sons up there with me one time, and they only made it so far, which when I get to that point, I'll tell you when he wanted to leave. But there's after effects too. You have to face the car if you try to face any other direction except the engine, you need to face east when you're up there. If you try to face any other direction, the car pretty much starts to like pivot by itself, like it's being turned. So if you just go, and I figured that out after like 6 times of being up there.
What is the direction of east?
I don't know.
You don't? Bounty, what am I going to do with you, girl?
See, this is what I
The
mean. I
direction
don't
of
know a
birth.
lot of this.
Oh, we talked about it sometimes. The direction of birth.
Right.
That's why you always face your opening of your lodge to the east. East is when you come out of the lodge, it's like being reborn. When you go into your lodge, it's like climbing back into the womb.
Oh, and that's why this house in Vegas is so messed up, because the door faces the west. This whole place is.
So you're going out the butthole.
Vegas is just fucked up all the way around, no matter when you look at it. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm hurting. That hurt. I shouldn't laugh. That hurt. I shouldn't laugh. That really hurt. Oh God.
I ain't laughed like that since I was a little girl.
I hate this place.
Oh God. Oh.
I literally do not. And I understand why I'm here, but oh my, can we just be done? I want to move.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I had to bring that up because as soon as you said east, that's exactly what popped in my head. Is east is the direction of birth.
Okay, then that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Much love, Aunt Edna. I want to let Aunt Edna know. Much love.
So then you turn the car off. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So you turn the car off and you just sit there. Pretty soon, within 5-10 minutes, you'll hear like children on a playground. You can hear the swings, and other people that I brought up there can hear this part too. So this isn't just me. And they saw the cow. They saw the red eyes. You will hear the kids playing, and pretty soon you hear the ringing of the bell for the students to come back in, and you hear the teacher calling. Well, if you don't acknowledge any of it, then the windows on your cars and stuff will start going up and down. The car will start bouncing. If you say, and I learned this too after a few times by myself, if you just say, and this is why it's really hard, because you can they're stuck there, they're captured. It's not their fault.
Right.
I know you're here. I'm trying to help you. I love you. Just go inside in the building with your teacher. Then they'll go inside, and then that'll all quiet down. And then after that, that's when my husband and everybody always freaks out and they want to leave. So I don't force anybody to stay there because that's wrong. Some people aren't built for things. But when I'm by myself, or oddly enough, when my cousin goes with me, but that's blood, so there's that whole issue. We stayed up there one night after that. And we heard a bunch of screaming, but we couldn't, it's like it came from all different directions, and then it would get silent, and then it would turn to shrieks, and then it would pop up here or there, and then it would come and push the car, and the car wouldn't start. So we get out of the car, and these weird, you can't really call them shapes because they don't really ever form into anything, but it's like dark mist, kind of like just floating around, zapping in and out. And they'll go right through you. And when they go through you, you have to control it. But it makes you want to be afraid. And you can't be afraid. You just have to have no emotion at that time is the best thing. Because if you start to feel the sorrow for the kids, because I thought, oh my God, these poor little kids up here, and that's when it would get worse. And you drop to your freaking knees. So you cannot have any emotion at all is the best I've found to deal with it. And then you just have to, if you put your hands together and make an energy ball around you, I guess is the best way to explain it. And that's when I see purple and blue. Then they go away. And then after that, if you could stay through all that, there's this other, just like a voice that it basically tells you need to leave. You're not going to be here type thing. And I felt like we might be pushing it a little too much to probably, because it was a deep, very powerful, like, absolutely for sure that you are not the top dog. And we didn't leave out of fear.
Yeah. And
we said, okay, we'll leave.
Yeah, that is definitely a controlling force there. And that's also why I believe that area of the country is so having so much supernatural activity. And I actually believe that's why a lot of the church religion-based religions actually settled in that area of the country. I think they knew that.
Yeah.
I think somehow they knew that area of the country was something at some time and still has that supernatural opening. You see, in the Bible, it talks about 3 gateways in each direction, okay, north, south, east, and west. And how, in the book of Enoch, it describes how Enoch saw these 3 gateways. And it's like I said, probably about a month ago on a podcast, I was talking about it. And I brought up the fact that those gateways could be exactly what Utah is experiencing. Maybe the entire area, the state of Utah, is the gateway. And maybe that's
what I
something
believe.
that certain religious sects actually realized, that there was that strength there supernaturally, and located their main part there. And you all know the church that I'm talking about is LDS, okay?
Well, and they have big doors on their church as well as other places.
Exactly. And they have no cross.
Right.
So, I mean, things don't add up, and things do add up, okay? That area, there is so much that needs to be examined with that area. I mean, why else would you have the problems on Skinwalker Ranch and on Blind Frog Ranch and all these other ranches out there that have been connected to the supernatural, to the sky, to the ground underneath their feet? As above, so below. I mean,
and this little valley is about 3.5 hours away from Salt Lake, south.
Mm-hmm. A water. And I've always said, what is water? Water is a key factor in the supernatural. It's a key way, it's a conduit to the supernatural. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Everything makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it is in paranormal too. It's an energy conductor. I mean it's literally it conducts energy.
Yep, and I believe
I'm
that
starting to
there's
lose my air.
certain rifts, certain areas that it's not just a little tiny area. It travels like the one over in Colorado travels clear from up above Denver, clear down into New Mexico. It's like this rift opening area of anomaly crap or whatever you want to call it. Ugh.
There's certain societies, certain religious societies, and certain corporate society what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing because they know the actual history of that area. So they know what to tap into. They know what the potential is. So I don't know. There's so many unanswered questions, guys. There really is in that area. It really is.
Well, thank you for verifying that there's something up there controlling other things that are stuck, because I always just wondered, am I imagining that or freaking out but so that's one mystery solved.
It's
Okay.
all connected. I just wish I could figure it all out. I really wish I could figure it all out before I leave. Because there's so many unanswered questions and there's so many possibilities, and even just finding out one possibility is, to me, helps, but there's so many others that need to be answered. And I just wish that whoever and whatever is in control of this realm, of this world, would just release that information to us. Open up the floodgates. Don't make humanity be the dumb Neanderthal cave people that you want them to be. Release that knowledge so they can be everything they're meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, thank you, Bear. Much love and
Thank you.
respect.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Love you too, sweetheart. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Bear. That was incredible. That was incredible what she was explaining. It's something that you and I have we've talked about that area a lot, from the Grand Canyon on the way up into that area of Utah, up where Skinwalker Ranch is. I mean,
there's something. It even goes further than that too.
Yeah, I mean, but I really am a firm believer that area is one of the gateways that the Book of Enoch talks about. I really do. That's why they have so much activity, and that's why the LDS and the Mormons are there.
Yep. Dang it. Sorry, guys. That came up quicker than I planned. Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of places like it. I mean, look at the sacred lands of our ancestors, the Black Hills. How much power is in that?
Another gateway. Yep, another gateway. I'm a firm believer that the North Pole's a gateway. The North Pole,
and South,
from my research and from my research on the North Pole, and this is just from my research, guys, I believe that the North Pole is the original Garden of Eden. I really do. Yeah. And from my research, it makes sense because you have the tallest mountain in the world there, okay, which could represent the tree of knowledge, okay. You have a representation of the four rivers splitting off, and it talks about the Garden of Eden having the four rivers, okay. And to me, it makes sense that even Admiral Byrd and his exploration of that area talked about having a weird encounter with a race of beings. Okay. So it would make sense to me that we're talking something on a supernatural scale. Okay. And you got to remember, when we as indigenous people, and back in the older days, before all this technology and crap, when we related something that we couldn't understand, we always labeled it supernatural. Always. Oh, that being appeared out of nowhere. Oh, that's a supernatural being. Well, what if you just walked out behind a tree? You know, I mean, you know, we've always labeled it supernatural because we didn't know what to call it. Okay. So this mystification of and phenomena started, you know, and that's why I'm a firm believer that the supernatural, everything in this world is based off of the supernatural. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow or another, it is connected to the supernatural, like a conduit. And I believe that Utah is one of those places where that conduit is very, very strong. That gateway is very, very open. And I hope that all my brothers and sisters in Utah can hear my voice and know that that gateway is going to remain open until someone figures enough out to go through that gateway. So,
yeah. And Jonas Side brought up a good point a minute ago, and that was Greenland. When Greenland was discovered, it was known as the land of where the gods still roam.
Exactly.
That was very much what it was described as.
Exactly. Jonaside also consider too, you have the talk of the Nihani people, the Nihani Valley people, the giants, the 9-foot tall giant human beings that were said to protect the portal to hell. So, you know, and that's very within that same northern area. So, you know, it all depends on how big we think this gateway could be. Okay, each gateway. It depends. To me, if you're talking supernatural, that gateway can be as big as you want it to be. You know, it doesn't have to be a little 6-foot diameter. It could be a 6,000 mile diameter. We never know. So, I don't know. Just my thoughts, guys. Anyways, I want to thank everybody for being here. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you to Marcy and her daughter for coming on, and thank you for everybody in the chat. Bounty Bear, thank you for coming on. All you guys in the chat. Jonaside, thank you for your insight, my friend. Urso, your insight is phenomenal. Roxanne and Urso, thank you for being the mods. You guys are wonderful. I love you both to death. This is why I say we got to question everything, guys. I hope we all learned something from that experiment that I did today with the portal and the frequency generator. And hopefully we can continue with this. I'm going to continue with my experiments, and I'll keep some on video. But there's so much going on that we need answers to, guys. And I just hope that I'm here long enough to start answering some of those questions that we have. And I think today was a very good way to start that. Thank you to Eric for being here and for helping out with while I was keeping an eye on Jacob. Thank you to everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful. Thank you to Michelle and everybody that supports this channel, because without you guys, I wouldn't be here. I literally wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have the capability of doing this, guys. So it means a lot to me. And I want you all to know that. That being said, next Friday, Into the Red Rabbit Hole, I've got a special coming out. It's going to be a deep subject. It's going to be about AI, okay, and what's going on with it, and it's going to be a good one. We're going to get into ancient AI discussion, current AI discussion, all that. So might even be able to do a little bit of portal work. You never know. But Eric, what do you got going on today?
I am going to do part 2 of basically my experiences at military bases around the world dealing with the paranormal supernatural.
Okay, good. All right, guys. Well, you know how I'm going to end this. What do I always say? Question everything, man. Question everything. Exactly. So until next time, I'll see you all on Eric's chat. And I'll see you all Friday night at 11 p.m. Eastern. Okay. And thank you to everybody. Please hit that thumbs up for me, that like button, and share this out, especially since we did that portal experiment. Because I'm telling you, the results from that, if somebody can build off of that, will help out astronomically with figuring out what's going on. So, but love you all very much, and we will see you all Friday night at 11 p.m. Eastern, and I'll see you all in the chat on Eric's channel today. Take care, everybody.
Bye. Peace, love, and blessings. If I can get this to work.
Midnight whispers on the city street, shadows creeping where the lost souls meet, but I hear wings, yeah, cutting through the air, invisible armies, they're everywhere. Gold halos guarding while the world spins wrong, protecting hearts where the weak grow strong. They're posted up, silent like a stone, but I know I'm never alone. He sends his angels, his mighty crew. They got my back, they're seeing me through. Wings of light, yeah. They break the dark, he sends his angel to shield my heart. When the storm roars and the night's so cold, I feel their warmth like stories told. Feathers brushing past my doubt and fear, a holy presence always near. They block the arrows, they light the way, they guard my soul through the hardest day. No cape, no mask, no comic book scene, just heaven soldiers, unseen but keen. Who's that whisper when I'm falling low? Who's that holding me when the pain won't go? Who's that shouting when the fight gets loud? Angels of God breaking through the crowd. Who's that whisper when I'm falling low? Who's that holding me when the pain won't go? Who's that shouting when the fight gets loud? Angels of God breaking through the crowd. Tinted ghosts, his my tomb crew. They got my back, they're seeing me through. Wings of light, wings of light. They break the dark, he sends his angels to shield my heart.